Hey Cupcake, so today I'm going to go ahead and do story time. I've been wanting to do it for a while now. So the story I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys is the murder of my aunt. Yes, you heard right, the murder of my aunt. So have you guys ever seen scary movies or any type of news that when they murder somebody or murder anybody's part of like family, and then how the family like deal with it and all that? Well, that's what I always thought. And then my aunt got murdered. So I will tell you all that, the story, and about how my family felt on the process of that. So let's go ahead and begin the story. Alright, so just a little brief on my tia, my aunt, for you guys don't know what tia means. I'm going to be saying tia a lot, you guys, so just for those who don't know what tia means, is aunt. My aunt used to be very happy. Okay, she's a mixture of me. So I have like, they say I was like her, half like her, and then like half like my other tia, but that's my other tia. She was very happy. She loved to dance. She was very into like the salsa. She used to like barre todo la casa. I can't even say it in English. Sweep the house. There you go. Sweep the house. Dancing. And she used to take care of my sister. That's my sister's Nina. So she was very happy. She was like the life of the party, just like me. So let's go ahead and start. How should we start? All right. When my aunt used to live here. So when my grandpa died, she decided to move back to Mexico because for the fact that my grandpa died, and because of the fact that she didn't like living here anymore. She just didn't like it as much as she loved Mexico more. It's just people that don't get used to of living in different places. So my aunt moved back over there around maybe 92. So she went back and lived with my grandma, a normal life and everything. She, like around the end of 93. Alright, I'm not going to tell you guys the whole full story because it's very long. I'm just going to tell you the shorter version. So around 93, by the end of 93, she met Fernando. I really don't mind using their names. He met this guy that sweet talked her. They met at a party. Just a normal way to meet somebody at a party. So she went ahead and went to the party and met him. He fell in love with her, and well, my aunt fell in love with him too. So he sweet talked her, fell in love and everything. And a couple of months later, they decided to get married. So it was like a really short relationship, and they decided to get married by like around the beginning of 1994, like around there, like in February, like towards the beginning of it. So they decided to get married. My aunt was in a tough relationship with him. More of the months went on, began to abuse her, began to hit her. He was way opposite of what my aunt thought he was. My aunt loved him very much, so she's like a normal person that they won't leave him for the fact that because they love him so much and he's not going to do it again and all that. My aunt just decided to stay with him. My mom didn't approve of the wedding, didn't approve of him, didn't approve of a lot of things about him for the fact that my mom was overprotective with her because it's her baby sister, you know. And my mom thought that it wasn't right for her to get married with him or be with him at all. And my mom used to know that my uncle, the bastard, used to hit her, and my mom used to talk my tia out of it. But my tia was like one of those persons like, no, I'm in love with him, he's not gonna do it again. So it's one of those type of relationships. And my mom always says that I regret not taking her away from him because she was so young. She was like, what, 22? Yeah, she was 22 when she got married and all that started happening. So she was 22 when she got married, so she was pretty young. I'm not even thinking about marriage, and I'm like 23, and I don't want kids at this age, at this time. So she was pretty young at that time, and she was very skinny, like very skinny. I have like clothes from her. Let me see. She was like very skinny. My sister has her clothes because it was her Nina, so she loves to keep stuff from her. So she was okay. This is from her boobies. Imagine her waist. She had a really small waist, like a really small waist, and it's crazy because she used to eat. And then the other shirt is where she used to sleep with. It's pretty dirty and pretty damaged already because it's been so long. So she keeps that from her, and then she keeps her little kitty cat. Little kitty cat's pretty. She used to love cats like I used to love them. It's really old, you guys. Really old. Whew. Okay, so she was really skinny. She's like really, really skinny, like skinnier than me, you know, because I'm a little bit of chunkier. That's what I get. Okay, so like I was saying, she was really skinny. She was getting abused by him, getting hit. It was a rough relationship when it came to all that with her, but she loved him. She didn't really want to leave him. My mom didn't really approve of it, so she really couldn't do nothing about it. By the time she got married like around 94, beginning of 94, so she still didn't care. She still got beaten by him, abused, and taking advantage of her also. And it's tough when that happens, because she never thought that would ever happen with him. But there you go. Can't do nothing about it anymore. She got pregnant really fast by him. When they got married, a couple months later, she got pregnant by my cousin. My cousin, he kept drinking. He started to drink. He started to do drugs, and she didn't really know about it until later on. And it got tough for her, so she had to mantener. How do you say mantener in English? Provide. She had to provide for him and the kids. And the kid. So she started to work at this like factory where you have to cut metal. She had to work with knives, and she used to come home crying to my grandma and used to say like, no, I don't wanna work there, and I feel like I'm gonna die there. And my grandma used to be like, why? She's like, it's because I don't want to work with blades. I feel like the blades are gonna kill me and I'm gonna leave my kid. So my cousin's already born. And they lived there because they're with my grandma for the fact that my grandpa and my grandma built a big house with so many rooms in it. So they used to rent there. And where she used to live were a window where you could actually like peek in and you could see through it in the showers. And she used to shower there a lot. And he used to stand there outside the house staring at her while she's showering. Weird, right? Well, they used to come and tell her all the time, the neighbors, say, you know what, he keeps just staring at you while you're showering, or with somebody showering there, and it's just pretty weird. Try to fix it. Well, they never told him anything, and he became more abusive with her because, I'm not gonna lie, my aunt was really pretty, so he became really abusive with her, thinking that she was starting to cheat, starting to abuse her and all this. So my aunt decided to leave him for the fact that he started to drink more, started to do drugs more. So he left them and decided to go with my grandma and kicked his ass out. So by that time, he became obsessed with my aunt, like real obsessed. And started to investigate when she would go to work, when she would eat, when she would shower, when she'll leave to work, when she'll come home from work, any little detail he wanted to know about her. He was really obsessed with her, really obsessed. And at that time, I have cousins there that were little by the time when she was there. And one certain cousin would tell him everything. I guess he tried bribing her. I'm not really sure about that fact right there because she was so little. She doesn't really remember now, I guess. And he used to be like, you need to tell me everything she does. So she would tell him what time she'll get home, what time she'll leave, what time she'll shower. So every time my aunt used to go to work, she used to have one friend. He was a guy. They were really great friends, like really best friends. And he will wait for her every single day. And that's what my cousin used to tell him. So I was already getting ready for work on February 29th in 1996. The year. I have papers where I'm actually going to put it around here of the newspaper. It's actually in Spanish, so if you want to try to read it, you could actually read it. But half of the things that were said in there, before I tell you what actually happened, half of the things that were said in the newspaper are actually lies. They just overdid it and didn't say the truth about...
Say rumors.
Yeah, they used to say rumors about my aunt on the newspaper that weren't true. They didn't know exactly what happened, so they just started to make up stuff that wasn't right. That was disrespectful towards her and my family when that happened. So, where was I? Okay. So she was getting ready. She was already out the door. And like I said, the dude that used to walk with her, something came up. He was late. Something was going on with his family, I guess. And she started... Okay, so just to let you know, let me describe her husband. His husband was very buff, really buff. He was just drunk, drug addict. He was a bodybuilder. That's how I could describe him. He used to wear like this bandana on his knee. I don't know why. He used to wear it. He was very big. Very big. And he used to hang around with the wrong people. So just keep that in mind. So when she was already heading out the door, she was going up the hill because
3 houses from the house.
They live in a hill, like I said. So in 3 houses from there, she was in an alley and she got attacked by 3 men. Really big men. And right at that time, I don't know what's going on, but in Mexico, when you get attacked, people don't tend to come out and try to help you. So when my aunt was getting attacked, she was actually screaming for her life. And neighbors and people, like a lot of people would like check out the window, open the door, but they wouldn't go and help. I don't understand why. I don't know why they wouldn't help. For the fact that if I heard somebody like that, of course I'm going to go outside with a bat or something and try to help out. It's crazy. It's crazy how they could have helped her by being attacked, but they didn't. They didn't want to help her. So they just stood there watching her while these 3 men started to attack her. They sliced her throat. So, okay, imagine my aunt. She was very tiny while these big buff guys attacked her. Hold her down. They sliced her by the throat, so from here to here. Stabbed her 4 times on her back. And laid her on the floor with her hair spread. Because she had really long, beautiful hair. And they laid her on the ground and spread her hair on the ground. And she was actually alive. And because the man, by the time they killed her, they left, they ran, whatever. They left her on the floor, bleeding to death. Her friend that used to walk with her came down the street and saw something laying there. And she's like, he thought it was like a drunk person laying there. And by the time he got closer and closer, he noticed it was a girl. And by the time he got so super closer, he knew it was my aunt. So he said that when he got there, she could say was my son, mi hijo. Mi hijo means my son in Spanish. She kept saying my son, my son, my son. He freaked out. He ran to the house. Remember, it's like three houses down. So he ran and knocked on the door. They tried knocking on my grandma. My grandma didn't wake up at all. I don't understand why my grandma wasn't waking up. She was like really deep sleep. So he went ahead and knocked on my uncle's door. He's my Nino. They knocked at his door. He's the oldest from all of them, and told him that something happened to Susana. That's my aunt's name. And that he needs to come real quick because she was on the floor and they attacked her. And my uncle went ahead and saw her. He kneeled on the ground, carried her while she was laying there bleeding. My uncle said that she was kept saying, "My son, my son." That's all she said. That's all she was worried about, was her son. And it was heartbreaking to my uncle because he was the one that held her until she passed. And he said that all he could do was just cry and hold her while she was choking in her own blood and bleeding. So she didn't make it at that time. And they didn't know, at first they did not know who it was. It was under investigation because it was a murder, of course. And until they found out who it was like least expected. It was 96, so I was pretty young. And my mom couldn't actually, no, she did actually went. She went to go see her. The mosca is back. And my mom flew out to see her because she already passed. And they said that it was Fernando, his husband. Her husband. Her husband was the one that sliced her throat, was the one that stabbed her by the help of his friends. So by the time my mom went over there, like I said, she was in Mexico. If you guys know why I keep looking down, it's because I have this. This is to keep me busy while I talk to you guys. So she went and she buried my aunt. They buried her. Remember, she left a 2-year-old with my grandma. She stayed in charge of him. So they buried her. People started to come and to the police station to keep saying a really buff guy with a square head, and her husband had a square head. So if you guys are wondering, like, how do you know it was him? Because of the people keep saying that what they saw, the people that were looking, is what the people went to go and tell the cops, is that he was buff, he had a square head, and the other 2 guys, I don't think they mentioned anything of them, right? It's just that it was other 2 guys there, and we knew it was him. We just knew it was him because he became obsessed with him. And then that's when that's when we found out our cousins was telling him the routine of my aunt. And so we just put everything together, and it was him. It was my aunt's husband that killed her. And the cops tried looking for him for so long. It took a year. When we buried her, my mom paid the cops, my uncles paid the cops, tried to catch him, to make justice for her. So by the time all that, cops couldn't find him. He was long gone.
Already.
My mom already grieved her and everything. Everybody grieved her and took time, but it was already a year that all that happened. So we're gonna fast forward now. It's been a year, and my mom was here, our house, not this house, and where I used to live in LA. She was actually watching TV, and remember, it's been a year, they never catched him, he was long gone, we didn't know anything about him. He never looked for his son or anything. And my mom was watching TV one night, and it was a channel called Sangre Fria. Sangre Viva. No, Sangre Fria? Sangre Fria, meaning as in cold blood. She was actually watching it, and he came up. He came up on the TV. He murdered his supposedly wife. He was here in Texas. Not here in Cali, but here in Texas. He actually flee from Mexico, went to Texas, married some girl. And remember I told you he had a bandana on his knee? Well, that bandana, he killed her wife. He choked her to death. And
she was white.
Yeah, and she was white. That, well, of course, she was white. He will marry a white girl. He was white. She was white. And he killed her. And he had 2 kids. But they weren't his. It was the girls.
The kids found her.
Girls, kids. And actually, the kids found her mom. So that's kind of worse. That's just worse. So they caught him. They put him into jail, right?
No, not yet.
Not yet. They caught him. They just killed him. Huh?
He was wanted.
Yeah, he was a wanted guy. So, just remember, I was very little when all this happened. So, I'm going by whatever my mom used to tell me every single night. Like, not every night, but every time I used to ask about my aunt. I've heard the story a million times. And, like I was saying. So, her kids found her. He was a wanted man. He actually went back to Mexico. So like I said, he murdered her and he actually flee, that's right, flee. He left the state from Texas, and I'm pretty sure they were looking for him. They were looking for him because he left again, and I'm pretty sure he went back to Mexico. Why wouldn't he? So that family that he murdered, the mom actually, not the wife he murdered, and then his mom, the girl's mom, went to Mexico and actually knocked at my grandma's door and told her to help her find him because he wanted to make justice. And my grandma, remember, it's been a very long time, so she didn't want to reopen the wound and the heartbreak that she lost a daughter, you get me? So she denied the lady. She said, for what? It ain't gonna bring her back. So the lady actually got pissed off. I would understand why not help her, but it's true what my grandma said. It's not gonna bring her back. Why even try? So the lady actually moved earth and land and everything, and to actually find him. And they found him in Mexico. So, and that when like all that happened, the thing that my mom was watching was more of a storyline. It was 2 detectives that actually, I guess, she hired, and they found him in Mexico. And by those detectives, they were able to find him and convict him of the murder of that girl, not convict him of the murder of my aunt, murder of just her. So over there in Mexico, they gave him 52 years. 50 years. Gave him 50 years in jail. But the thing is, in Mexico, they count day and night.
So 25 years.
So it's 25 years. So, you get me? It's really complicated over there in Mexico when it comes to being jailed. So it's 50 years, count day and night. So it'll be 25 years. So, and it's almost time. He's almost gonna get out. And he actually put him in jail, and he's actually in jail right now, still at this moment. I think he's actually gonna come out soon. What is it? Because
like in 3 years.
In 3 years, yeah, because it's 20 years. Because
21, he's 22.
They died a year before Selena died. Selena Quintanilla. So they convicted her of the murder of that one, and my grandma just didn't want to deal with it no more. She just wanted to leave and rest my aunt, because it's like one of those myths, I guess, what they say is like you bring up the dead and they're not resting because you keep crying for them and all that. So remember, as in, like I told you, she left a 2-year-old. Well, my grandma raised him. He's what, 23? No, I'm 23. He's 21. He's 21 years old. He raised him as 22. His own. He's 22, sorry. 22. Raised him as his own. He actually didn't know the truth. He thought my grandma was his mom. didn't want to tell him to protect him for the fact that his mom was murdered. And by his dad. So it's like complicated. So my aunt kept him from that secret, and my mom kept that secret. Everybody kept that secret. And I even knew, but I was little. I didn't really understand until I'm older now. So he didn't find out until he was actually around 18. 18 and 21. I think 18, right?
19, around there.
Like 19, 18, people kept telling him, nosy ass neighbors kept telling him that he wasn't the son of my grandma, that his mom died because his bastard ass dad decided to murder her. So he never thought about it until he got a little bit older and started asking questions, and then my grandma passed away. And that's when my aunt decided to sit down and tell him the whole story of my aunt, of how he met his dad, how he was abusive, how he used to hit her to, he didn't even really want you, to the point where he murdered her, and how he murdered her, show him the paperwork, everything. Because I have pictures of her, of her murder, but it's more of a privacy than just to throw it out there. It's not, it's more of respect for us. And plus, I don't want to bring up open wounds to my mom, because it was her sister. So by that time, he's already grown, and everything was, he's a good boy. He's a really good boy. And everything was not forgotten, but just put in the past, because why hold a grudge? But dude, my uncles have said it. Once he's out, his ass is gone. Well, beat up, more to say it. Because they took away her sister and just didn't really think about it. And I just think they should just reopen it and file him again, because they need justice for my aunt. That's not right. But other than that, he's still in jail, and I hope he stays in there and rots in there and beat them up and everything, because I don't think he should be out. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the story, because it's just story time. So I hope you enjoyed, and give this a thumbs up, share, comment down below. Ask me some questions if you guys want me to tell you guys a little bit more into the details. Comment down below, let me know. And if you guys want me to do more story time, I'm sorry they're talking in the back, but if you guys want me to do more story time, let me know down below. I got so many other stories about me and my familia. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and give this a thumbs up. And also, don't forget, I did a giveaway. I'm doing a giveaway, so go ahead and go watch the Selena haul. And also, I have a P.O. box if you guys want to go ahead and send me any letters or anything. Go and do that. Everything's down in the description. And los quiero mucho. Bye.